Man, you already know the deal. It's risky here, you feel me? We're doing a 2021 NFL draft prospects, which they don't have all the players that I want to talk about. But if I have some in mind, I might talk about them, you feel me? But I'm basically gonna talk about the impact they'll have in their career with the teams that they're on, and this kind of gonna be a little bit of projection. Might be a little bit of a longer video, so stay tight. And you know what? Like, subscribe, share. Please, we struggling out here, and let's get into this bitch. Okay, so who we first starting with is JOK, who got drafted in the second round by the Browns. I think he's going to be a, I think he's gonna be a very good player. He's very versatile. The Browns have a good defense. They know how to use players to the player's advantage, not to the team. And I just, it depends what type of role he's gonna play for the Browns. I haven't watched many Browns games this year, but okay, I'm gonna try to speed this up. Just saying, Eric Stokes, I think is gonna play average. I think he's a solid corner. I just don't think he will ever be really that good, to be honest. Just my opinion. He's good in man. He's solid in man. Not that good in zone. Has to work a little bit on technique. Greg Newsome is a baller. I think he's going to be good to even ah. Hold up real quick. Wow, very good. Who could have saw that? What? But yeah, so I'm gonna put also very good. I think Newsome is in that type of category to be very good. He's athletic. He's quick. I kind of like the how he just plays on the field. I like just like how enthusiastic he is up there. Aziza Jolori, who was my number one edge in the draft. The edge draft this year was weak. It had a lot of people who could have been it could have been like top five, to be honest. And some of those guys went like later rounds. I think he I think he's gonna be good to very good. I am a Giants fan. I have been watching him a little bit. So far he's been good. Nothing to prove that would be very good. But he's fast. He's a guy who can actually get pressure. Most of the edge rushers in the draft are mostly just run stoppers. But we got Elijah Varan Tucker, who is a guy who's just very good around the whole offensive line. A very good pass blocker, solid in the run too. He's a guy who can put in most places. I think he played left, right guard, and right tackle. I'm pretty sure. Maybe a little bit of left tackle. But I'm not sure. Patrick Surtain, I like the pick that the Broncos made. I personally think they should have went quarterback there with Fields on the board. But Surtain was my number one corner in this draft. Surtain was just great. He can play man. He can play zone too. I don't think he's that as good in zone compared to man. I think he's better in man. But I think he could be on his own island, to be honest. I don't think he's going to need a safety above him as much compared to other quarterbacks. Christian Darrisaw, I think he's going to be good because he played as a solid tackle in college at Virginia. Who I think he might have played over the line. You guys could correct me, but I think he mostly played left and right tackle. But no, he's a very good pass blocker. I haven't seen much of him in the run space, to be honest. I think I would have to go back and watch him on the run. But especially being in Minnesota too. Minnesota has really good coaches, and their offensive line coach good, so they could develop him the right way. I think he is playing the left tackle with Ryan O'Neal to the right, which would definitely help Kirk Cousins there. Avante Smith, it's a hot take, but I don't think Javonte Smith's going to be that good. I think not even that good. I just think he might have injury effects, as there's never been a wide receiver his size who's been successful in the NFL. And you guys might think that that's ridiculous, how it might not matter, but I think he's gonna be mid to average. I'll give him the average disadvantage. Because when you're playing college, especially when you're Alabama receiver, you could get open a lot, which he was a lot. He used his speed to get open. He's very skinny. He hasn't put on much weight. Which if he puts on much weight, I think he'll be very good to even boom, to be honest. But we have to see. Michael Parsons, if this was before the draft, I would have said meh. Because Michael Parsons, he did everything that was average. There was nothing in his game that really stood out to me. I remember the NFL, they posted clips of him during college. Like, oh, look at Michael Parsons. There wasn't a clip that I saw that I'm like, wow, that's impressive. They're all just he filled the hole, and then he met the running back around the edge. He had speed and athleticism. But the Cowboys have have been known to bring up good linebackers. I think they have good coaching. Dan Quinn, I think, is a really good defensive coordinator, and I would put him in the good category. Average to good. I would put him in the good category. I think mostly because he's in the perfect situation in Dallas. That's what I see. Now right here we got Jalen Phillips, so I think it's gonna be very good as long as he can stay healthy. There were some rumors of the Giants picking him, which I didn't want just because he had like 2 or 3 concussions in Miami in a short. I know that was UCLA, and then he transferred to Miami. My bad. In a short time period, when that happens, so you're actually like it could affect your brain very negatively. So, yeah, I didn't really want that, to be honest. JC Horn, I'm putting as boom. JC Horn has great athleticism, plays great in man. He is a guy who is very enthusiastic. You know, he's a hard player out there. JC Horn is in my opinion going to be a at least top 7 corner in the league. I think Surtain has that potential, but I just think Horn is. I think Surtain I thought was better in college, but I like Jason Horn better in the NFL, which you guys might not understand, but there's a big difference between college and NFL. One guy might be better in college, but when it goes to the leagues, his game might not, transfer, which usually isn't the case for cornerbacks, but I'm just saying. Gregory Rousseau was a guy who got, before season, he got a lot of buzz, being probably like a top 5 pick in the draft. And then it kind of declined, which a lot of people didn't want him because he can't get true pass rush, which is the truth of him. When, in my opinion, perfect situation with the Bills. He's going to a team that they have the pieces around them where they don't need him to start right away, which I'm gonna put him at a meh pick. I think there is a good amount to fix with him. I think he gets a lot of his pass rush from the inside, which if that's the case, he's gonna have to bulk, and or basically they just put him outside and just tell him, and they just give him better technique. It's one of those. You either tell them bulk up, or on the edge, you just tell them, you know what, we have to fix your technique, and this is what you're going to do in our system. Which I think the Bills have their edge rushers play outside linebackers, so and like drop back in coverage. So if they want him to do that, Russo isn't great at that. So Kwity Paye, I think will be Kwity Paye was one of the most overrated players in the draft. Say what you want to say. The dude was just a run stopper, which I'm sorry, I'm not taking a run stopper in the first round. I'm not. There's so many solid run stoppers in the league. I'm not taking him in the first round. He didn't provide real pass rush. He played like 6, 7 games without a sack too. I take that in consideration. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Caleb Farley's another guy where if he is hurt, because he's had a good amount of injuries, which I think if he's hurt, he will be like a what if. Like I think it'd be meh. But I think he's going to be an average corner in the league. In my opinion, some people had him. I remember people had him as the first corner at one point, but no, I didn't see that. He's a guy who's very good in zone, solid in man. Nothing great in man coverage, but he's very very good in zone. I'll give him that. Still had some technique issues, to be honest. I think he was the guy who was holding a lot. I forget who it was. There's a corner in this draft where I forget who was holding a lot. Nick Bolton, I don't really see much of him in his future. I don't really see where he'll be playing. I think he's in Kansas City, I'm pretty sure. I just Travis Etienne, guy who actually just got hurt out for the year. I'm not gonna put him in bust. I'm gonna put him. Never mind. I was gonna put him in bust because I thought I was gonna be talking about this year, but I'm talking about the whole career projection. I think he'll be man, to be honest. Travis Etienne is not a true solid back to me. He's in Jacksonville. He's gonna be used as a receiver, mostly as a receiving back, and I don't see where they're actually going to use him as a back. Seems like they're trying him out a receiver, and usually when that stuff happens, it never really works out because they try to switch your position, and it never works out in the league when they try to do that shit. Let's just keep going. Kyle Pitts, boom, and I'm not even just saying this because the media and everything. Kyle Pitts is a beast. Come on, like that's all I gotta say. He's with the Falcons too, so there's not much running game where he's getting the ball stolen from him from other players. The only one could be Calvin Ridley, but that's it. So plus he might get a new quarterback probably this upcoming season, well, upcoming off season. So he could just be the quarterback's like best friend. I think next year he'll have a better season than this one. Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman's in an offense that is run first and run heavy, but they might switch. Maybe they might switch up to a little more passing due to the fact that they have Sammy Watkins, who's okay, and Rashad Bateman they picked in the first round. I think he'll be an average receiver in this league. Mostly because I don't think he's going to get the ball that much. He's in a system that will not pass him the ball. I think I think he'll have a lot of deep plays where they're going to just because that's what the Ravens like to do. When they throw the ball, they like to go deep with it, and I think he could do that. Or what could happen is they could put Marquise Brown on number two receivers, and then I think Marquise Brown could still work against them. Marquise Brown is not a bum. I don't like all that disrespect coming from him. Please. Jalen Waddle, boom. Jalen Waddle is my favorite player in this class. And I already know what I said about Avante Smith, how he's a guy who only has speed and got separation from that. But Jalen Waddle, you go look at contested catches, look at his route running, look at when he releases. He's a solid blocker too. I don't know what else I could ask for. He has toughness too. Remember in the championship game when he wanted to come back in the game? I respect that out of players. Just saying. Jamar Chase I think will be mad to be honest. And I'll tell you why. The reason I think Jamar Chase would just be mad is due to the fact that he couldn't really create much separation in college. That was the biggest flaw with him. They're saying, oh, he can't really create much separation. Okay, let's see about in the league. The Bengals take him at number 5, which I still think that was a dumb decision. Just saying. They take Jamar Chase. They're really saying in camp he can't create separation. First game didn't do that great. Then the second preseason game got 3 targets, 3 drops, which were right in his hand. Of course you could switch drops. Look at Davante Adams. You could change that. But they were all open across the middle. He just got in a situation which I think it was either assault or sexual assault with his girlfriend. So that might ruin his career already. He might even be in the bust category. We'll see. Christian Barmore, I think, will be an average player, to be honest. He's a guy. He's either gonna be average or good. I just don't know how the Patriots are gonna use him because he was a guy as a defensive tackle who was able to get pressure. He was able to actually get pressure on the quarterback. Solid run stopper, plays mean, but he's able to just bulldoze through guards and get there at the next level to the quarterback. I do like that out of him. It's just I don't know how the Patriots are going to use him. Are the Patriots going to use him strictly as a run stopper, or are they going to say or are they going to just move their defense and add another D tackle to help them get to the quarterback? So, I think we'll see on that. I think he has potential to be good. I don't know about very good, but I put him there. Javon Holland, I think I'm gonna have to put Javon Holland in average. Miami is a heavy backfield. Not backfield, secondary, my bad. He's a guy who wasn't very that good at any coverage. He's one of those hard hitting safeties, to be honest. He's a great tackler, great hitting. He's good on a one-on-one kind of coverage, but when it comes to zone, he's not that great in. Which they might want to play him in the box, which I might, to be honest. But here's when we get to the real, where y'all want to say the quarterbacks. This quarterback class, everyone's talking about how hard it is. I'm gonna try to do. Are they? Oh, there's Zach Wilson. I thought they were missing a quarterback. My bad. But this is the class that really does have the most potential to be a great quarterback class. You know what? I'll say that towards the end. Watch towards the end. Rondale Moore is a guy who I think could actually be good. I think Rondale Moore could be very good. And the thing is, people try to knock on him for his size. It just depends how the Cardinals use him. They can't use him as a one-on-one receiver. He has the speed to go against in my opinion, any corner. He has fantastic speed. He great catching ability, by the way. Great route running. Also has really good release. The biggest part is his size. I feel like he's going to be used as like an end around type of receiver, like trick plays, but mostly special teams. But if they know how to use him, he could be a good receiver in this league. Then we got Tevin Jenkins, who plays strictly right tackle at Oklahoma State, drafted by the Bears in the second. I'm gonna put him at good also. I think Tevin Jenkins, I think got a little bit overlooked, to be honest. He's a tackle who has strict power. He's gonna square up with you and just power you, just take you where he wants you to go. strict power. I forget how he is a run blocking. I'm gonna be honest. I might move him down the average because I don't remember that, but I remember strictly pass block. I'm gonna move him to average because I don't remember his run blocking ability. I'm not gonna say some shit down them. Terrence Mitchell, I think he'll be an average receiver in the league. I like Terrence Mitchell, but there's nothing really that special to him. There's nothing that when you watch you get blown out of the water. He has solid hands. He's a solid route runner. Doesn't have much crazy speed to him. He's not fast. He's not slow, but like nothing that puts him over that edge. Penei Sewell, I think the thing about Penei Sewell is you probably heard other people say this. He can either be a bust or a kaboom. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to put him in that very good. And the reason why, I think there's a player too where Penei Sewell got B in the first preseason game or the second one. And that's why people say, oh, this guy's going to be a bust. Oh, this guy's not good. Of course he's on the lines, yada, yada, yada. One, being an offensive tackle is hard to play in the first place. And the second part is he didn't play much right tackle. I don't think he really played any right tackle at all. He played left. The Lions are now putting him at right tackle. He needs to adjust to that. It's his first preseason game too. I may be second. It was either his first or second game. Well, I think people need to calm down. They need to calm down. Okay, so right here we got Jamin Davis, who was first round pick for Washington, and I don't understand because I think people didn't like. Well, some people didn't like this pick. I think the first reaction people didn't like it. Washington fans did, I think. And the reason why I like it is because Washington, one, Jamin Davis was a great linebacker. Later on, when the draft started coming sooner and sooner, he started going up boards. I think he was outside people's top five middle linebackers in the draft, more towards like the 7 through 10 range, and then moved up to even some people's top three. I think I had him at 3 as my linebacker rankings. But he's fast, explosive. He could play in coverage a little bit. So I would still try to fix that a little bit. Great run stopper. Plus, He's going in an area where he has Ron Rivera and who's that Raiders coach? You guys know who I'm talking about. Yeah, who are two very good linebacker coaches who could help him develop. They developed really good linebackers before. I want to put him towards the very good. I think he have a very good career. I think he have a career better than these guys. Well, maybe not Newsom. Ah, I'm still debating with him. Elijah Moore is a guy who a lot of people are saying is just playing explosive right now. Like during camp, of course, I see a lot of athletes. He has a good mentality too. He's a guy who the Jets have a crowded room, of course. I want to put him in the good to very good. I want to put him in the very good category. Elijah Moore has quickness, speed, has good hands. Like that's Elijah Moore when the Giants were on the clock. I wanted him to be the pick. I'm being serious. Najee Harris, I think, will have a good career. I just think the offensive line is not that good for him. One, of course, that could change all the time. But the thing about Najee Harris is that like this is about to be a passing league. It already is a passing league, but I just want to see how would he go with the Steelers. It depends what the Steelers are going to go with. They're going to draft a quarterback soon. They better build either a rushing offensive line or a passing because there are offensive lines who are way better than the other. They're going to try to get a balance, of course, but there's mostly an offensive line edges, whether they're better at passing or run blocking. So I think it should be interesting to see how that turns out. Javon Morig, who was the second round pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't like saying Las Vegas. Feels weird to me. You feel me? But again, he's a guy who's good in zone. I forget how he is in man. Because the thing is, I watched these guys tape months ago, so I'm starting to forget. I remember he's a hard hitting guy. I remember he was pretty good in coverage. I would have to put him in. I think he could be a good safety in the league. It all depends on the Raiders. The Raiders' coaching is not that good. What are they going to do? Rashawn Slater, I think, is boom. I think Rashawn Slater's going to have such a good career, and I am mad at the Giants for passing him up. This is, and some people might be like, the guys who are very good, they could be better than the boom. But I'm mostly going off of the ceiling that I see. Like, even some guys in the good or even average could be better, but again, we're not going to know. It's all about situation. Javonte Williams was my favorite running back in the class. I liked a lot of UNC players last year. I like Michael Carter, him, De'Ami Brown, Daz Newsome. I'm gonna put him in the good category to very. He can be. I think he can be in the very good category. It just all depends how the Broncos are going to run their offense. I do like Pat Shurmur as the offensive coordinator. He is a very solid offensive coordinator. So far, I'm gonna put him in the good, just because I don't know what the Broncos are gonna do. They have the receivers become a pass first and a pass heavy team. It depends what they're gonna do at quarterback, which they just announced the other day. Bridgewater will be starting. And with Bridgewater starting might be a little risky, so they might run a lot, which will help Javonte Williams. But this is the time y'all been waiting for, the quarterback situation. Zach, we don't have that many players in bust. Of course, these guys are going to be bust, but we just have to see. Zach Wilson, I think, will be bust to meh, in my opinion. There's a guy in college who had great accuracy, but was mostly a gunslinger. He's also not in a good situation. He's a guy whose offensive line isn't good. His receivers, he has a really good receiving group, but he doesn't have one receiver that's very good. He has a bunch of receivers that are solid, which we will see how that is. We'll see how that is. He has a okay scrambling ability. Nothing crazy, but he's not bad at a scrambler. We'll see how the Robert Saleh is. We'll see how the offensive coordinator is too. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I just don't think he will be that good as an NFL player. Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to put Trevor Lawrence in the boom situation. And the thing about Trevor Lawrence is he's in such a bad situation. Urban Meyer, I said it from the start. I wasn't doing YouTube since then. I don't believe in Urban Meyer. I don't believe in him. I just don't. The offensive line, if you guys have been watching preseason, has been playing terrible. It's looking like Joe Burrow out there, and he's tough too. He gets back up, and he's still making plays. Which I feel like in a year from now he's going to have to learn a new playbook and it's not going to be good. Which I think he could be then in the very good conversation. But we'll see from then. Trey Lance, I am also going to put in the boom. Trey Lance is a guy I've been talking about 2 years ago. I've been saying to friends, people that I know who watch football, and just saying Trey Lance is going to be a good player. Trey Lance has the accuracy. One, he has a great scrambling ability. He has really good pocket awareness. His decision making was a flaw of his, which I do understand that. But I think also has to help fix that. He's in a perfect situation. He is in a fantastic Niners offense with weapons, an offensive line, a defense just in case if he's not playing good, the defense could carry the game and still get a win. He's with a genius offensive mind in Kyle Shanahan, where I think him and Kyle Trask are in the perfect situations right now. Which I'm not saying Kyle Trask can be great. I'm just saying I think he's in a perfect situation to succeed. We'll see how he does it. Justin Fields is a guy who I believe will be very good. I had doubts of him, to be honest with you. Not because of the way he played, but mostly because of the fact that he just it was all kind of mental with him. He was a solid runner. He had the arm strength. He had the accuracy. But there were some decisions that were just mental that he could have made better. There were some decisions some plays, that he didn't really look to his other reads. He just stuck on one. If it didn't work, the play collapsed. Which, hear me out, that could also be Ohio State's offense too. So, but watching the first two preseason games, the second one didn't play as great as he did in his first. But I saw him read through his progressions better. He had better pocket awareness, scrambled out, made tough throws. I do believe in him. I think he could be very good. I don't think he could be. I think his peak is top 10. I think he could be a top 7 quarterback in the league, top 8. But that's still very, very good. It just depends what the Bears are going to do, whether Nagy's going to be calling the plays, or if Matt Nagy possibly gets fired, or what happens with Allen Robinson. He's on a franchise tag and he obviously doesn't want to be there. So what are they going to do with him? And the last player we do have is Mac Jones, who is a guy who I didn't think would be that good before the draft. All his receivers were open, had a great offensive line, yada yada yada. But I started thinking about it. The Patriots are a perfect place for Mac Jones, where he doesn't have to do too much. Bill Belichick drafts players who he knows what their talent is, and then he just says, "Listen, do what your talent is, and we'll build off of that. We'll just do you, and then we'll just design to that," which is perfect for him. He doesn't have to change. They know he is a pocket guy, sit back there, just make the throws. And so far in camp and during games, he's been making solid completions. But Mac Jones is never going to be a quarterback where if you need or if you he's not going to put up, in my opinion, fantastic numbers. He's not going to be a flashy, fantastic player. But when you look at when he plays, you're going to be like, that damn, like he's good. I think he's gonna have a high completion percentage in the league. His touchdown to turnover ratio, I think, would be very good. I don't think he'll have much deep balls. I think he'll be a good, solid quarterback in the league. I think he'll get like 20 something touchdowns a year and like maybe double digit interceptions, a little bit less than that. So here it is. Here's the list. Of course, this is never going to be perfect. Jalen Waddle could get injured tomorrow and then become a bust, or we could have Nick Bolton just get roided up and just become the best linebacker of all time. So we don't know. I want you guys to please like, please subscribe. I hope you like this video. If you guys liked any more, please let me know. And bye.